Never have I ever thought that I would end up doing a review for a clicker slash idle game. But the year is 2018, so I guess fuck it, anything is possible. So, Clicker Heroes 2. It is a sequel to one of the most popular idle clicker games ever. Clicker Heroes, yeah, no surprise there. This game was originally a Flash game, but eventually turned into both a Steam game and a mobile game. And as of right now, Clicker Heroes 2, on the other hand, is only available on PC, either through Steam or a download from the developer's website. Now, before I start the review, it's pretty important to mention that this game is about 5 days into beta, and this is very early beta, I'll have you know. So a lot of the features are either not included yet, or are broken as hell, and I mean broken, like game-breaking broken. So, without further ado, let's get into the game. Clicker Heroes 2 is not surprisingly very similar to Clicker Heroes 1. In this game, you are playing as Sid, the cursor-wielding crazy adventurer, as I like to call him. They have plans to have more characters in the future, but for now, we only have Sid. The idea of the game is quite simple. Get as far as possible, like any other idle clicker game. You start off at World 1 and have to continue going through worlds killing monsters. Now, these monsters can never hurt you, so you never have to worry about dying or keeping up your HP, anything like that. You only have to worry about damage. This game includes many features compared to Clicker Heroes 1, and while it may have the same general gameplay, the execution is vastly different. Now, the current saves are going to be wiped when the game actually goes into full release. So, everyone playing right now is pretty much just playing for fun and to help out the devs. Not progress, because it's all gonna end up getting wiped anyways. The game starts you off at level 1, and no surprise here, killing off monsters gives you XP. XP gain in this game is actually quite slow compared to most clicker type games. I'm about 9 hours in right now and only level 37. But that really doesn't mean much right now because A, people are taking advantage of broken boosts in the game and getting max level, and yeah, it doesn't really mean too much. But progress is actually pretty slow. Now, the main way to increase your damage in this game is first to level up, as you get a massive stacking damage multiplier from levels, and to increase your equipment level. Now, equipment levels are bought with gold and give a multiplier bonus every 10 pieces of equipment that is bought. Every world in Clicker Heroes consists of 100 stages, and once you finish a world, your equipment level goes back to nothing, so it completely resets. The only thing that is kept between worlds are your character levels and damage boost that goes with it, along with the skills. When buying new equipment, it gets a passive upgrade as well. Most of them include things like click damage, gold receive, haste, crit damage, crit chance, general boosts like that. The experience you gain from each world is also set beforehand, so you know exactly how much experience and how much levels you might actually get from the world. While you can actually repeat worlds to grind XP, the total amount of experience goes down each time, so it's definitely worth it to do worlds multiple times, just you have to stop at some point. I would say it's usually worth it doing a world maybe 3 times early on, maybe 4, but going past that usually it's a waste of time, let's be honest here. Now, unlike most clicker games, this one has a massive skill tree that is used, as you level up. 1 level is 1 skill point. Yeah, nothing really too out of the ordinary there. That's pretty standard. The skill tree is based off Path of Exile skill tree, where it's one massive star map with many small boosts, then some medium boosts, and then finally massive big skill boosts. It includes many passive skill boosts like the ones you see on your equipment, but it also includes active skill boosts, which will help your damage a lot if you're actively playing the game. Right now, Clicker Heroes 2 is more of an active clicker game than an idle one, surprisingly. To progress well, you definitely need to play the game, as playing idle really won't progress you anywhere near the speed of actively playing. The cost of equipment and damage from it is heavily needed, so, for the most part, you need to stick around to upgrade your gear. Some people might like this, while some people may hate this, but this, so far, has been one of the most playable clicker games I have ever played. I myself have streamed it for over 5-6 hours pretty easily without actually getting bored, and I know I could do much more, and yes, I know that sounds weird and crazy, but that it happened? Yeah, fucking happened, man. The game also includes an automator, which at the moment is helpful, but definitely not perfect at completely automating the game. It does include auto skills, auto buys, auto upgrades, but it's far from as effective from playing the game actively. Which isn't exactly a bad thing, but right now the automator just sucks a little too much to make it a viable way to play the game idly. It has an option to buy the cheapest gear but not the highest DPS boost, which honestly fucking sucks, because why would I want to buy the cheapest gear? Because usually that's the ones you don't want to buy. Whoa! It has a bunch of speed upgrades though, so it can go pretty fast, and all in all, a decent addition to the game. And while you actually put skills on it, that's so far the most helpful thing I've found about the automator. I put on 1 or 2 skills that I continue to use, and it uses those skills every like 2 seconds or 5 seconds. Now the automator has a bunch of upgrades. You can make it go faster, you can make it activate a skill when the monster is above 50% health, or make it activate when they're below 50% health. So it's definitely a good addition to the game, but it's just not perfect for upgrading, so that's meh. Last thing I want to go over about the game is the different worlds. It's needless to say, you start at World 1 and keep going endlessly from there. But the weird thing is each world has some modifiers, those being economy, monster growth, monster health, and item cost. Those multipliers are random, so you can either get really lucky or really unlucky. The game also has a cute little shop where you spend rubies. Now, rubies are both dropped off monsters, dropped off bosses, and dropped off little pufferfish that spawn in the game, and you'll have to actually pay attention and click on them, or else you won't get any rubies from them. The shop generally sells gold, mana, and damage or stat boosts for that world, so it's never really a bad idea to buy it, or any of the upgrades at least. But again, the upgrades usually stay only for that world, so it's really a temporary boost just to make the world grinding go a little bit faster. Now, since this game is in early beta, it's still fucked as all hell. Like, Jesus Christ is it fucked. Many game-breaking bugs have been discovered in the game, and people have already gotten past World 100, and that was definitely not intended. But, since it is a beta, it shouldn't really be all that surprising, because this is the whole reason you have betas, so you can figure stuff like this out. Now, the last topic I want to touch upon is the fact the game is $30 USD. Now, this is shocking to pretty much everyone outside of Clicker Heroes world. Now, even people who have actively played Clicker Heroes 1 for hundreds of hours don't like the fact that it's $30, but it is. They see that much money for a Clicker Heroes game, or any sort of idle clicker game, is ridiculous. Now, I can understand where they're coming from, but this game is definitely going to be one of the highest budget and, by the end of it, most polished clicker game by far. It has had millions of dollars thrown into it. I think I've heard at least $2 million has been put into it so far, which is really just kind of hilarious for a clicker game. But when the first game is such a success as it is, I can see why they would do it. At this point, I wouldn't say the game is worth $30 though, mainly because it's broken, it's in beta, and it's missing a bunch of features that an idle clicker should have. It doesn't really have a great reset mechanic like in the first game, and most people agree that it's almost 100% needed for most clicker idle games like this. All in all, I would say if you're interested in this game, keep watching as it develops. Right now, it's good, but not amazing, and definitely needs to be worked on, but it has amazing potential, and that definitely matters right now, at least to me. Now, the developers have already probably made $1 million+ from the game, so they most likely will have a lot of time to continue development. I myself will be sticking with this game almost no matter what. I bought it months ago, even before the beta was announced, and yeah, I don't regret that one bit. But that's because I know it will only get better. So yeah, I'm not complaining. So lastly, I want to know what you guys think of Clicker Heroes 2. It might be a whole new level for clickers, but only time can really tell how good it will get. So I want to know what you guys think of Clicker Heroes 2. Is it worth $30? Is it not? Is it a good game? Who knows? It is still in beta, so it can only get better, really, and it's pretty much a whole new level for clicker games. Paid, high-quality clicker games. That's, oddly enough, that's going on right now, so we'll have to wait and see.